Hello, hello, everybody. Come on over, come on in. We're going to say hi and hello. We have a wonderful guest I can't wait to introduce to you today. Let me get us set up over here for Instagram. No, here we go. It's coming. It's coming. Maybe. It says we're live. So let's just see if we pop up over here. Sometimes I don't know. Oh, there we are. Okay, and turn my volume down. Okay, there we go. We're good. So how is everybody today? We are back for another wonderful Wednesday. I have a fabulous guest here today that we're going to bring in and chat about a brand new book that you guys do not want to miss out on. This is going to be going on your wish list for this holiday. It's an amazing book, an amazing collection of blankets, and I'm so excited that we got to be part of it with yarn for two of the blankets, and we get to have the designer here today. So let me bring her on in. Today we have Anita. Hi,
Anita. Hiya.
How are you this morning? Afternoon. I guess it's afternoon for you.
Yeah, it's dark here now, cold and dark, but yeah, I'm all good. Yeah, very nice to be here.
Well, it's going to be perfect time for everybody to get out their blankets, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So if you don't know, this is Anita from Made by Anita. You can check her out on all of the social platforms. You'll want to follow along. I highly recommend it. You're going to see some beautiful projects and things along the way. Totally worth a follow. Let's talk a little bit about you and how you got into crochet, because I know this is the first time that you've been on live with us. So a lot of our followers might not know who you are. So why don't you give us a little snippet of how your journey started in crochet?
Okay, first of all, can I just apologize for my voice? I've had a cold and I sound really croaky. I don't normally sound like this, but I'm going to see how long my voice will last for. Crochet. Okay, so I actually started with knitting rather than crochet, and I learnt to knit when I was very small. I think about five years old, and I just always loved yarn. I was surrounded by it. My mum knitted. We were always going to the yarn shop, and I was just fascinated by the possibilities of it, really. I knitted when I was young a bit, you know, the usual garter scarves with holes and squeaky needles and that kind of thing. And then I didn't really knit again until I was an adult and I had my children. And then I knitted all sorts of things for them. And then I didn't really knit again, for years and years and years. And when my son was about, I'd say about 20, he was very into writing computer code.
Okay.
And one day he said to me, I found a crochet pattern, and basically it's just code. So I am going to crochet this pattern to prove that I understand the code. So he went out, bought a ball of yarn and a hook, and he crocheted an amigurumi pig. It only ever got 3 legs. It only ever got 3 legs, because by the time he crocheted 3 of the legs, he'd proved the point. He could do that. So it never got finished. But I picked up the hook and the ball of yarn and made a really wonky granny square. And I was hooked completely smitten with crochet. And I honestly think that hardly a day has gone by. That was about 15 years ago. Hardly a day has gone by when I've not picked up a hook since then. Yeah. So we blame the 3-legged pig.
Yeah, we all get how addictive it is once you get started, and it's really hard to put down. But we're really grateful you picked it up, because we're getting a lot of great designs out of this. Let's just say that. So while we're talking about your journey and your crochet granny squares, let's talk about the brand new book as well. So this is Anita's new book, Patchwork Granny Square Blankets. Guys, it's amazing. It is absolutely amazing. We were just talking about the book and how, you know, it really is quilted looking crochet blankets, right? Like it takes the feel of a quilted blanket and gives it to you by making granny squares or different squares in different color patterns. And I was saying that I've always aspired to be a quilter. And one day I'll figure something out. We'll quilt something small, maybe. But I just don't have the time and the space to do it right now in my life. And so something like this really gives us the opportunity to branch our crochet with that other world of quilting that has such a long tradition as well. It is just stunning. I can't even tell you how excited. I told Anita that, like, even if I would never ever make anything in this book, just looking at it makes me so happy. This is like a coffee table book, I want to say, you know? So what inspired you to make this book?
So I'm always quite inspired by fashion and what's current in fashion, and by that I mean catwalk type fashion.
Okay.
Not that I wear catwalk fashions, but I'm always interested in what's happening, because obviously it's textiles, and everything
Right.
textiles is fascinating to me. But it's very much a trend at the moment. It's very, very popular.
Mm-hmm.
And we're seeing a real resurgence in these sort of traditional crafts.
Right.
And as we discussed before, I'd been making some actual quilts of my own during lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
But they're just big and they're
Right.
not portable, and yarn is really my thing. So when I'm not spending my time with yarn, I really feel like I want to be. So
Yeah.
I started experimenting with ways to create the blocks using crochet that I love. So here are some of the traditional blocks from the book.
I love it.
And yeah, I started working on the blocks and then ways to combine them to create quilt style blankets. And the first quilt blanket I made was actually called Quiet Sky. And that was a really popular pattern. Do I have one here? I do, but I'm going to have to stick my head under the desk. And that really inspired the book because it was popular. It was a popular design. It just sparked something in people, I think.
Yeah.
So being able to go on and produce a whole book full of quilt inspired designs was amazing.
Yeah. And I know we've talked about this too, but I want to make sure we call it out. So I was showing pictures of like the finished blankets all put together, but you're also going to get the patterns to make those different quilts that are squares, I should say, that Anita was showing. And then you can really combine them in so many different ways.
Yeah.
And, you know, it really is doing like a double-sided, not double-sided, but like a half and half color square, and just altering the direction you're putting it in can change things dramatically in what your final piece is going to be.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I can't say enough about a book that does that. I love patterns. I love getting the inspiration from a pattern. But when you get that added bonus of allowing now my creativity to come out and make something even extra special by just taking the pieces that I love and putting them together, I just think it rounds it out. It makes it so much more special to buy a book like this and to learn through, you know, your process and your suggestions to be able to make beautiful things. So
I'm an ex-teacher, and so for the teachers out there, once a teacher, always a teacher.
Yeah.
We always want to share what we know and pass it on. One of the things I was really keen to do with the book was, as much as I love people following my patterns, it's brilliant. I wanted to give the reader the chance to take what's in the book and use it to create their own designs. So everything in all the techniques and all the blocks in the book, the borders, everything are completely interchangeable. So you can use any border on any blanket. You can change the size. It might be square in the book. If you want to make it bigger or make it a rectangle, you can do that, and the border will still work. So you don't have to just follow, you can go crazy with it. At the back of the book, there are blank versions of all of the blocks. So you can create your own colorways, and there's a little QR code. So you can download them, scale them however you want, print them out, do whatever you want with them.
I love
so
that.
a real tool for creating your own designs. And I really hope that it gives people the opportunity to recreate some of their favorite quilt designs in crochet.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of being, no, you're fine. Speaking of being a teacher, I don't know, it was probably a couple of years ago, I had seen somebody on Instagram give all of the students in their elementary class a hat, like an outline of a hat. And then they could decorate it. And then they were knitting the hats to match the patterns, like the colors that were used. That would be so awesome to do with this, whether it's like the students in your class or your own kids, or you know, everybody in your family would decorate one of these in a color of their choice.
Idea.
Yeah, you can make like your own family blanket with everybody's input into it. That'd be really cool.
That's a wonderful idea. That would be a really good Christmas activity, wouldn't it? Just
or
give
like
everyone a square and some pens, and
right. Yeah, or make it like all the grandkids in the family design the squares and then give it to the grandparent or something. I don't know. So many fun things.
Yeah, that's a lovely idea. I like that. Yeah, brilliant.
No, I really love it. And I do love the fact too that it allows you to get that quilt feel without all of the quilt work to it. But you're still getting this beautiful heirloom piece that you can pass along. And because it is the squares, you do have that flexibility on what size you want to make. You can make even up to like a king size blanket if you really want to, just by adding in some more squares.
Here we go. This one is king size. It's huge.
Oh, beautiful.
Let's see if I can stand up, and it's massive.
Oh, it's beautiful. So let's talk a little bit about that blanket too, as you're showing it. This is the brand new pattern you have coming out tomorrow, you said, right?
No, this one's in the book.
That one's in the book. Sorry, guys, never mind. I'm jumping ahead.
So this is a bonus pattern. This one's called Winter Lights.
It's beautiful.
And it's not in the book, but you can download this from Ravelry now. If you go to Made by Anita, it's a free pattern. And you can also have a look at what the style of the book is from the download. But this one is really to illustrate that you can take the blocks in the book. So that's this one. And I've just played with the color placement.
Yeah, look at how different it looks.
And it just looks completely different. So the Ohio star here. Have I got one? There we go. It just looks completely different. The different
color is amazing to play around with.
Yeah, completely changes the appearance of things. So I just wanted to show that the book is just a starting point, and there's just so much you can do with it. If I just bring in another one. This one is called the Exploration Sampler Blanket. There's that Ohio star again that's completely different. But this one has one of each block from the book. So
Oh,
if
I
you
love
just
that.
want to dip your toe in and have a go at all of them, then this is the blanket. And sampler blankets are a really traditional quilting.
Right.
It is quintessential quilt, isn't it? So
Right. So as we're talking through this, and you can kind of see in each of the blocks, it's smaller squares that make up a bigger square when we're putting things together. And you can't really do, well, maybe I could be wrong. I assume you can't really do join as you go as you're working with these different pieces. So what suggestions do you have for seaming things together?
well,
Oh,
my favorite way of joining is join as you go.
okay.
So this is
Oh,
join
that's
as you go.
beautiful.
And the book gives you all the instructions you need to join as you go, including ensuring that you're using the right yarn to join when you need to join. So you can
Amazing.
absolutely use join as you go. If you're not keen on join as you go, you can sew them together. So this one is whip stitched
Okay.
together. Instructions are in the book. Or you can single crochet, UK double crochet,
Okay.
seam them on the back. And you can completely interchange all of those techniques and do whatever you want. Everything works with everything. So it's all there in the book. You can choose
That's amazing.
whatever you prefer.
Yeah. So which is your preferred method for joining?
Oh, join as you go.
Yeah.
Join as you go, without a doubt. Yeah,
Yeah, there's a comment
join
in
as you
here. I
go
have to
every
join as
time.
you go, otherwise I lose motivation.
Yeah,
100%. There's like weaving in ends is one thing, but like having to join everything and then weave in your ends. If I'm
yeah,
going to do it, it has to be join as you go, or I'll do the single crochet
yeah,
seaming together, whatever is easier.
yeah. That's me too. I don't mind sewing in the ends. I'm unusual there.
Yeah.
I quite like that. But yeah, I the first granny square blanket I ever made was for my daughter,
Okay.
and I made all the squares and then sat and sewed them all together. And I decided at that point that I would never sew a blanket together again. And I don't think I have.
Yeah. I don't know. It just, maybe somebody likes doing it. We can all send our projects to them to
Yeah.
sew together. I don't know. I mean, I'll be honest, I did a blanket not too long ago that used different, like, they were not traditional granny squares, but a granny square of sorts. I still don't have this ends woven all in, but I use it. And then I'll just sit there and kind of weave in a couple ends every time I go to use it because that's just where we are.
I do have a little admission. This blanket it's photographed. It's going live tomorrow. But
Yeah.
there are a few.
Well,
But
we
don't
won't
tell
tell
anyone.
anybody.
It's a secret.
Yeah.
Can I
Yeah.
just I've got to show this one as well.
Yeah.
So this one is the first frost blanket, and this is the Knit Picks heavily worsted.
Yeah.
And it is gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous.
It is beautiful.
It's so soft, isn't it?
I love it.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. Heather Lee's
I
a
knew
really
the
great
minute
yarn.
this arrived that it had to be a blanket.
Yeah.
It's just gorgeous. And because this is a heavier weight yarn, so this is the double knit version.
Okay.
So it's the
That's a
same
big
amount
change
of
in difference.
crochet, but it's much bigger.
Right.
So if you want to whip up a really impressive, quick gift, then this is an absolutely brilliant one, because this whole blanket, and it's massive.
I love it.
It's
The
just
colors you picked are
16
perfect.
squares.
Yeah.
Just 16 squares.
It's beautiful.
And you can probably, I mean, it depends how much time you've got to crochet, but if you're just sort of sitting in front of the TV, you can have one of these done in an evening, and it's just a really, really quick way to make a lovely gift. And who doesn't like a blanket?
Yes, I love blankets too, because while you're working on them and putting them together, it sits on your lap and it keeps you warm. Like, how
Yeah.
could you not love that?
But it's also good in the summer because each square is just a little project in itself. So you
Right.
can take them out with you and what have you, and then wait for it to get cold to join them all together.
Yeah. Yeah. And we should say that pattern is called First Frost, and the yarn that we're talking about is called Heatherly, which you can find over on the
Yeah.
crochet.com website.
Yeah, the colors are just amazing. So I think my favorite is Sea Glass.
That's one of my favorites too.
Yeah, it's just so beautiful. Yeah.
And I love too, you know, the
Gorgeous.
colors you put together are very reminiscent of winter in that blanket without being very like in your face, like Christmassy colors or all blues. Like, it's a nice soft palette in there. And I just think all
Yeah.
of the colors that you used just flow so beautifully together.
Yeah, I quite often choose unusual color combinations. It's just my thing, really. I just love color so much. I love using color.
Yeah. So when you're doing this, you showed us how there were two different sizes between using the DK weight and the worsted weight yarn. So is that apply to pretty much all of the squares, that they could change the weight of yarn to
Yes.
something a little bit bulkier to be able to get a bigger square and to kind of work it up a little quicker?
Yeah, you can use any hook and any yarn. So for this one, obviously this is the heavier yarn, but I think I actually suggest in the book that if you wanted to make this as a baby blanket or a smaller blanket for a child, you could use exactly the same pattern, just use a lighter weight yarn, and that will just create a smaller, lighter blanket. There is one. Do I have it here? Yeah, I do. So this one is actually 4-ply yarn.
Okay.
So it's the same square again. I've made a mess here, so I can't find anything. Where is it? Here it is. So it's the same square. So this is the DK version. So you can see exactly the same, but it's a much smaller square.
Right.
But you just follow the pattern. The only change you need to make is to the hook size. So if the pattern is written for a DK yarn with a 4mm hook, then you would use the lighter yarn with whatever the recommended hook size is on the yarn band. And yeah, I would say make yourself a little square, 3-round granny square, measure that, and then you can multiply that up to give you an idea of what size your blanket's going to be. But all of that is in the book. There's information about changing the size and calculating yarn quantities if you want to make your own designs.
I love it. Lindsay is saying here about using mini skeins to make the squares and the colors. That's a great way to use up, even if it's not mini skeins, but even just leftovers. You could get one color that you have a bunch of to make like your, in the blanket we were just looking, like the white color doesn't have to be white. It could be whatever. And then you could use your leftovers or your minis to do the different colors inside of it. That would be great.
And there is, in the back of the book, in the section about calculating yarn quantities, I have actually included information about how much weight of different types of yarn you would need. So if you do have scraps or mini skeins or, you know, leftovers from other projects, you can weigh them and it will give you an idea of if you've got enough to use to make a square or whatever. So yeah, I always use the scraps. Don't waste
I
the
know
scraps.
I can't throw them out, and then I'm like, what do I do with them? This is gonna be perfect to put them together and
Yeah,
start making
you make them
different
into
squares.
patchwork, because that
Yeah,
is the real tradition of patchwork, isn't it? That's how it originated, using up all the scraps and leftovers. And people didn't go and buy expensive yarn specifically for quilting
right.
in the past. They used what they had, they repurposed things, um, they used clothes, grain sacks, all sorts.
Yeah,
Yeah, so use up what you've got,
yeah.
definitely.
And I want to call out too, I know there's at least one pattern here in the book. You can also make pillows from this. If you don't
Yeah,
want to make a full blanket, but you love a square or two, put them
yeah,
together and make a pillow for it, or use bulky weight yarn and get a large square. There's so many different things that you can do with the basics of this book to make beautiful things and still be able to make them in time for the holidays if you are looking for a gift.
yeah.
So definitely put this on your list. Go grab it now. We were even talking, so there is the physical copy, or there's a Kindle version. So if you prefer to have a digital pattern, you can go ahead and grab that too. Either way, you'll be able to make some really, really stunning things.
Yeah, Kindle's a good last minute gift as well.
Yeah, it sure is. Well, thank you so much for coming on with us today to chat about this new book. I am smitten with it. I need
Oh,
to pick
thank
out
you.
which one I'm going to do because I can't do all of them. Let's be honest. I mean, we've got to start and rank them so that we can get this going. But they're just so beautiful. And again, I love the fact that you give us all the information. You give us each square. You give us finished blanket suggestions, and then you allow us to go ahead and piece things together
Yeah.
and make our own color combinations. Yes, the book is called Patchwork Granny Square Blankets by Anita from Made by Anita. So that's where you're going to find the book. We're supposed to be getting them on our website. They just didn't show up yet. So we don't have them yet, but keep checking back and we should have them. But you can buy them pretty much anywhere else. There's so many different locations that you can grab the book. And then, yeah, if you were shopping that 246 sale that we had last week, that would be a great way to use up some of the yarn you picked up, being able to make some of these different squares. It's so amazing. We're so grateful that you worked with some of our yarn for this book and that you even just made the book in general. I think it's going to really elevate our craft and our industry
Thank you.
with having this beautiful edition and allowing us to get into that quilt world with our own special way. Oh, somebody said they got their book and they're receiving it next week. Yay!
Hey.
Somebody else said their book arrived yesterday and it's beautiful.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's nice to hear.
we
That's
love
really
it.
good to hear. Yeah.
Yeah. And just remember, if you are making something, tag Anita in it when you post about it so that she can
Yes,
see
please.
all the
Please
beautiful
do.
creations that you guys are inspired to make.
Yeah, it makes me very happy when I see what you make. Makes it all
Yeah.
worthwhile.
Yeah, we love it. Thank you again so much for your time
Thank
and
you.
making this beautiful book. Thank you to everybody who joined us today and watched live. There's no live next week because it is Thanksgiving in the US on Thursday, so we're taking off on Wednesday. I'm still working, but just not doing a live. But we'll be back the first week in December for some more fun. Hopefully everybody gets some stitching time in and go grab a copy of your book before it sells out. I think this is going to fly off the shelves for the holidays as gifting, as getting it for yourself. You know, we've been talking internally about a Secret Santa. This is like a perfect thing to put on a Secret Santa gift. It's not super expensive. I don't even know. It's $25. So it's a reasonably priced book here. That's the US price. Really great for Secret Santa, really great for letting others know. Grab your copy. All right. Thanks, everybody. We will see you next time. Thank you again so much, Anita. Have a wonderful
Thank
day.
you.